Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we are continuing the Royal Tournament grind, so it has been out for almost a full day now. Yesterday I did upload a video going from 0 all the way to 10 wins, was able to do it undefeated, flawless record, 10-0, and I did so by using 5 different decks that I thought would give you guys a pretty good chance in the tournament. So I kind of made a list and collection of 5 different decks, and I did so, as you can see here in my battle log, with Logbait, with Hog Earthquake, with Royal Giant Skeleton King, with Splash Yard, and finally 3.0 Xbow Cycle. And we had quite a lot of close calls actually, mainly because of some misplays that I made, especially this game against Hog Bowler, as well as this game against Mega Knight Bait, but thankfully I was still able to walk away unscathed with an undefeated record of 10-0. And so in today's video I'm going to be continuing the global tournament grind with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I am an Xbow Cycle main, and this is my favorite deck, so I'll be playing it in the tournament. And today my goal is going to be 15 wins, so hopefully we can get an undefeated record of 15-0, getting 5 straight wins in a row, but we'll have to see because I don't think the meta is super good for Xbow. I mean, I always say that, but it is what it is. So 3.0 Xbow Cycle, going to be playing with it, and I am going to be playing with the Electro Spirit, which is noteworthy because I traditionally always enjoy playing with Ice Spirit. I just love the extended freeze duration, and I think it's so good on defense, but with the newest meta, I feel like Electro Spirit is just going to be a bit better. I always thought Electro Spirit was a better card, but I just preferred Ice Spirit for the freeze. But with Logbait being so prominent now, and I mean, it's been prominent for a long time, but especially with the recent Goblin Gang buff, I feel like Electro Spirit is just going to be better against those types of decks. And also Betfist did finish number 19 in the world last season with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. He was the number 1 Xbow player in the world, and he did it with Electro Spirit in the deck as well. So just a few reasons that I'm going to be playing with E-Spirit today. I would recommend you guys do the same, but of course it is personal preference at the end of the day. Both spirits are good in different matchups, and it is really just up to you. With all that being said, though, let's get right into the matches. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's hope we can get some pretty good games today. So I found the first one against Mr. Bones. Hopefully I don't have a repeat of yesterday where I play really badly, but let's see what my opponent has. Gonna E-Spirit at the bridge to start out, and it looks like he does not actually play anything, so I guess I'm just gonna split my archers and see if we can force anything out. We do see a gang actually, so this is already looking like it might be Logbait, and if that is the case, then I am pretty happy that I have an Electro Spirit. I'm just going to leak a little bit, and if he doesn't play anything, I'm just going to Expo on the left, just kind of test the water, see what he has. Does go with Zappies and Fireball. Okay, so it's actually going to be Royal Giant. This is actually the deck that I shared in one of my games, or one of the decks that I shared in my video yesterday. I believe it was from 5 to 6 wins. So the Royal Giant Skeleton King deck, and he does have a Goblin Gang in here, so I mean, you couldn't really imagine Goblin Gang being in a general Royal Giant deck, but it's just such a strong card now that I guess it's just being used in it. So we already have a really nice early lead though. Just gonna Tesla. So I know this deck, I know he also has a Mother Witch, so I don't really want to just Skeletons for no reason and give him a free Mother Witch. I'm just gonna log the gang. I thought it might be Logbait after seeing Goblin Gang, but since I know it's Royal Giant now, I can pretty freely log the Goblin Gang back. Just gonna Knight for the lane with more Zappies, and this should already pretty much be a win. I'm not sure why my opponent messed up so hard at the start. I guess maybe he didn't have Royal Giant in his cycle. That's the only thing I can think of, because he just let me get a really nice connection. But he might go with the Royal Giant with the Skeleton King. He does go Fisherman to pull my Knight away. Gonna have to reset with another Tesla and just get ready for defense. He hasn't played his Mother Witch yet, which is interesting. So, okay, there it is. Unfortunately, I didn't Fireball in time, would have loved to, but just gonna go Skeletons for the Fisherman, keep the Tesla alive, then have to get Knight and Archers down instantly for this RG. I do have to get DPS on it, and E-Spirit stun is gonna be nice to keep my Tesla alive. I feel like this is one matchup where I can't really decide if Electro Spirit is better or worse than Ice Spirit, because it's so much more helpful against the Gang and the Skeleton King, but at the same time Ice Spirit is so useful on defense against the Royal Giants. Just that gigantic freeze is always helpful. And I guess I'm just going to stack Archers. I know he has a Fireball in this deck. He gives me a ton of Fireball value in the right, so even though that's not the lane I'm going for, I'm going to take it. And Tesla is going to work on the Skeleton King. Just going to log all the Skeletons back. I did miss some, but I think it's worth it to just get the tower damage. And again, I feel like this game is pretty much wrapped, so I'm just going to keep going for Teslas in the middle. He does go RG in the back, and I can't really Xbow, because there's no point going opposite when I already have all my damage in the left, and there's no point going in the left when he's pretty much just going to stall it out, and then eventually the RG will walk in front, so we're just going to set up on defense instead. Gonna go skeletons for this fisherman, and I guess I will fireball this. It is quite a lot of value, and then I do actually have to get another Tesla down. Actually did mess up the Tesla, unfortunately, but we are still going to defend okay. We have such a nice lead that small mistakes aren't going to be that bad, and if he fireballs here, I actually think he might have just fireballed my Xbow, but he just wasted his RG. He's 3 cards away, definitely going to Xbow, and this should be really nice. That's a lot of fireball value. I'm going to take it, and going to log the gang as well. He's probably going to Skelly King now, but if he doesn't in time, then we are going to get a connection. Just going to try and push it off my Xbow with the Knight. Nice, we actually did get the play off. And so now he's probably going to fireball if I had to guess. But the damage is pretty much done. Looks like he tried with everything in his power to not RG on the Xbow, but that doesn't really work out for him because at this point he's just 2 fireballs away from losing. That's pretty much going to be game. He actually gives up, so that's going to be game. I guess I'm going to try and get 2 crowns if he allows me. He might not because he might be mad about the loss or something, but I'm going to try. So this is something that I never really get, but it would be really helpful because obviously the global tournament is dependent on crowns. Going to fireball now, and okay, we were really close, but yeah, I can never really match the timing up. It's going to be GG. My opponent's pretty upset about that loss, it looks like. Looks like Boss is recording his video at the same time as well. That's interesting. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I did get 12-0 on my other account, and then I'm also at 15 wins on my mini account. Sadly, I already have 4 losses on the mini because I was playing a different deck, and I lost 4 times below 7 wins, so lesson learned. Don't play decks that you're not super comfortable with if you care about your win and loss. But found the next game against Dom. Looks to be a Japanese player. Gonna give him the good luck. Eastbird at the bridge. Again, it's a really safe starting play because even if they activate King, which they usually do, it doesn't really matter. Looks like it's going to be Logbait. So going to go Archers for the Princess and then Xbow. Unfortunately, I am going to take 2 Princess hits. I kind of waited on the Archers because I didn't want the Ice Spirit to hit them. And he does actually go for a Tesla. I would have loved to react fast enough, but obviously I didn't with the Knight in front. But it should still be fine. Does go for a really low gang. I'm actually just going to Knight because I don't need to log that. And this way I can log the Princess if I really want. So he went Princess, Valk, Tesla, Barrel. I think he's 1 away from his Princess. Let's see though. Just going to E-Spirit to take out the Tesla, I guess. And I want to be careful of his Princess now. So I'm going to kind of cycle stuff in the middle. Generally what you want to do against Logbait if they have Princess and cycle, because Princess at the bridge is really annoying. And there's the Princess, so just going to fireball it off. And so in this matchup, I think Fireball Cycle is going to be really important as well. I think he has a gang in here. He hasn't revealed it yet, but would make sense. Normally, yeah, there it is. Normally, Logbait with Valk and Tesla used to run guards, but gang is pretty much just better than guards at this point. So I don't think I want to be going same lane as my opponent, though. Just going to log. He keeps going with Tricky Barrels in the back for some reason, but I guess it's all right. Just going to E-Spirit the bridge, and once again, trying not to get caught up by a Princess. He does activate King, and that's fine. I'm actually trying to switch lanes to the right lane, because you never really want to go same lane against Logbait. I'm going to split Archers, because I can't really afford to take that Ice Spirit damage, especially because I am down quite a lot of Elixir already, or rather, down quite a lot of tower damage. Not the best barrel out of him, I have to say, because the log will just help clean up the gang as well, so I mean, I'll definitely take it. And Archer does not get a shot, unfortunately. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't really want to go same lane against Logbait because you generally don't really want them to fireball, or rather log cycle you out. And I'm actually fireball cycling. He does go for a rocket. Gonna go for an Expo and Tesla opposite to predict his Tesla. He does go Valk, and he's 2 away from rocket right now, so he shouldn't really be back to it anytime soon. Gonna take this log value because it's quite a lot. He's back to rocket now, but Expo is on tower. And if he does want a rocket, he pretty much loses on the next Expo. So I'm just going to E-Spirit down low, cycle back to my next Expo, and he's once again 4 cards away. Going to take the Fireball value on the Valk, because I definitely want the tower damage. And going to go Skeletons to predict the Tesla. I'm just going to let this die now, it's fine, and I'm just going to Tesla the bridge to predict his Princess, because I don't want him to get any chance at making a comeback in terms of tower damage. And we are pretty much primed to win this one now. Does go for a barrel in the back, just going to log it off. And looks like I kind of baited out a rocket. Okay, yeah, right as I was saying that, he rockets again. He did actually go with a pretty nice Tesla, but I'm going to fireball it off, maybe catch him off guard, and hopefully can get a small lock, and we do. Nice. So that's obviously not as much as I wanted to get. I would have loved to get even more damage than that, but it's alright. Princess the Bridge, opposite lane, is totally fine, because I don't have to worry about it at all in the left. And I'm going to Xbow again. Knight to predict the Tesla, because he keeps going with these Teslas on my Xbows. Archers to instantly DPS down this Valk, and this time he does just rocket it off, so fair enough. Going to Fireball to predict the Goblin Gang, actually. And looks like he did spread out his Goblin Gang, which is well played. Gonna go for a low E-Spirit just because I don't want to get any Princess at the bridge damage at all. Gonna Skeletons as well. I really have to be careful about that. And he does actually Tesla predict mess up, though. He really should have played it over here. And wow, he rockets the tower. He has like 0 elixir right now. Yeah, that's gonna be game because the Tesla's 4, rocket is 6, even though it is double elixir. I meant to say good game, not well played, but I guess good game, well played. Yeah, he wanted to play the Tesla over here, because then I wouldn't be able to Expo in the middle, but I guess he just didn't know the placement, so not too experienced there, but nice win against Logbait. He did get me with that one Tesla predict, which was pretty unfortunate, but thankfully we were able to win. So this matchup, I'm not sure how to feel, because on the one hand, Valkyrie, I always said this, Valkyrie makes it easier for 3.0 Xbow compared to Knight, because they have a slower cycle, which means you can try not cycle them more effectively. But on the other hand, Goblin Gang is just so good now, and if you don't have the log, you're not really going to take it out. Like, E-Spirit is good against it, but doesn't really do it. Like, if they go Valk Goblin Gang, you have to log, there's nothing else you can do. So with Gang being so much stronger, I don't think it's that good for Expo. It might still be Expo's matchup slightly because of the Valk, but I don't think it's going to be much better than like a 60-40 matchup. And I still find Logbait quite an annoying matchup in all honesty. But it's alright, let's get into the next game. 2 nice wins to start the video out. Found another one against Lexa, let's give him the good luck. See what's up. Does go for a Furnace, so I'm just going to log it off, and then Fireball to try and hit the Fire Spirit. Looks like, okay, or rather log to hit the Fire Spirit. And then I'm just going to E-Spirit to hopefully take out both of these Fire Spirits. Nice, because I don't want them to connect. And okay, this is actually looking like it's going to be double spawners, which is really interesting because I haven't seen this deck being meta in almost a year. I think it was last year, 2021, when this was popular, but it looks like he's just going to let the Cannon Cart die. I'm just going to Skeletons to make sure it dies, and then he might Mother Witch, but it should be okay. Going to Knight for the Flying Machine. And okay, actually messed that up. That is really bad. Yikes. Okay, I actually placed my Knight 1 tile too low. But the Knight should force a response out. Okay, Hut, gonna Expo because he's not back to Cannon Cart yet. And he shouldn't have that much elixir after going Mother Witch and Goblin Hut, which is 5 elixir. So yeah, he doesn't have any elixir right now. So we do get a connection, but I think he might Mega Knight on this, yeah. Which is a bit scary. So I'm gonna try and activate King. I hope this doesn't go badly. I think we got it off. Mega Knight should jump, then going to E-Spirit, and that is going to be a perfect King activation. I'm always kind of wary of messing that up because I have messed it up quite a lot before, and then I usually lose or get in a really bad situation because I mess it up. But as long as you place everything at the right timing, you should be fine with the activation. And we did get our damage back, which is good. That was a really bad night against the Flying Machine, but it's alright, we got our damage back. So does give me a free Fireball on the right. Not sure what's up with that, but I'll take it. Maybe he wanted me to Fireball. But this type of matchup is one where you almost never offensive Expo, believe it or not. And I'm actually just gonna log these 2 Fire Spirits, I guess, because Skeletons wouldn't really do the trick. Then I'm just gonna defensive Expo against this Hut, honestly, because, again, this is the type of matchup where you never really go in at all. Defensive Expos are key in this matchup because they have too many counters to your Expo. He has Cannon Cart, he has Mega Knight, he actually has arrows for my archers as well. Just gonna Fireball off the Hut, I guess, take it out, and spawn the Spear Goblins. I'm just gonna log the Spears, I guess, and I'm just gonna keep defending, because, like I said, he has too many Expo counters. He has the Cannon Cart, he has the Mega Knight, he has arrows if he needs to. I'm gonna go Knight for the Mega Knight, and then archers to try and snipe the Flying Machine. And gonna Fireball the Mother Witch off instantly because I don't want too many Cursed Hogs to ruin my day. And that is going to be a pretty good defense. We are 2 away from our Fireball, I think, so gonna try and get back to it. Okay, never mind, 3 away. But for some reason, okay, actually, I guess I just forgot I just played the Fireball, but my opponent is not playing this that well, no offense to him, but he really should be separating his spawners to the other lane. Gonna log all of this to make sure the Fire Spirit doesn't jump onto my tower and also take out the cannon cart. And then gonna knight down low, hopefully low enough to the point where the cannon cart doesn't snipe it. And then I tried to Tesla far away as well, but unfortunately the cannon cart was able to snipe that, so gonna have to take out the flying machine. And looks like flying machine did ignore those 2 skeletons, unfortunately, so it did go to the tower sooner than I anticipated, but it's still alright. Get a nice fireball off there. Gonna log the Mother Witch back, and then I guess knight on top to not take any hits. And he might Mega Knight here, so I'm a bit worried. Okay, just does go for a flying machine, which is fine. Tesla should take it out. And, okay, never mind. But I'm just going to try and not mess up against this flying machine this time. Nice, we actually did get a nice defense off. He's probably going to go arrows there. They are so going to Tesla instantly. And that is going to be a pretty clean defense, honestly. I had some pretty sketchy moments in this game, but thankfully I'm pretty much fine. This is basically a win. That is pretty much going to be 2 fireballs and a log, so just going to fireball the first time. And actually, no, that's going to be 2 logs. Never mind. I overestimated how much log does. There's the fireball, so just going to Tesla now for the flying machine, and then we can pretty much just spell cycle and it's done. So that's going to be a good win. My opponent definitely didn't play that well, although I have to say I kind of messed up sometimes too. I had some micro mistakes, mainly against the flying machine, so that's my bad. But pretty much what my opponent was supposed to do was start spreading out his spawners and playing them in the other lane, because he kept giving me, you'll notice, he kept giving me fireball value on the right side tower, which is the tower that I wanted damage in anyways. Like, he went Furnace, he went Goblin Hut, he went Flying Machine. He kept giving me a lot of fireball value, and that's just not how you want to play that matchup out. Because from my perspective, I know, like I said many times, I can't break through at all. I know he has Mega Knight, I know he has Cannon Cart, so I know that I have to pretty much just defend and spell cycle as much as I can. But when he just gives me the spell cycle on a silver platter, there's not too much work that needs to be done. He did have arrows, which is really annoying. Normally they have barb barrel, I'm pretty sure. Arrows is obviously a lot better against archers, but thankfully he didn't play it too well, so I was still able to win that one. So pretty nice win there. Let's keep it going. 13-0. Found another game against, I believe, a Korean player. I could be wrong though, because that's only one character. Gonna give my opponent the good luck and see what he has. Just gonna log because he's not playing anything. And he still doesn't play anything, so just going to split my archers. Could be a heavier deck since he doesn't seem to want to play anything. And I'm just going to Expo, just find out what he has, because there's probably a reason that he's leaking so much. And this looks really bad, because I think it might be Royal Giant. Does go for the Ghost, going to Knight up high. And I think I'm actually going to Fireball here. It seems weird, but I know he's not going to have enough for a Royal Giant, because he just spent quite a lot with the Ghost and Giant Skeleton. So yeah, we are going to get a small connection, which is perfect. Going to E-Spirit the bridge as well. And this is looking like Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton with Lightning. Or Earthquake, but probably Lightning, because if he had Earthquake, he probably would have just Earthquaked my first Expo there. So I don't feel good about this one, honestly. Pretty bad matchup, especially because he has Giant Skeleton in there. So this is going to be tricky for sure. Just going to Tesla, I guess, because I don't have a Fireball for the Fisherman. And if he does go Giant Skeleton in the back, I'm going to try and Expo opposite. There it is. So he doesn't have enough for a Royal Giant right away. And hopefully the Fisherman gets taken out by the Tesla before he gets the RG down. Sadly, that was just a dream, did not work out. So unfortunately, RG is going to come down. He might E-Spirit to take out my archers. Looks like he won't though, so that's going to be a pretty okay defense as well. We aren't going to take any damage, but yeah, this is why it's so hard. He has both Giant Skeleton and Royal Giant, so it's going to be extremely hard to get an Expo connection. And then he also has Lightning, which is going to make it... Okay, he does go for a really nice prediction E-Spirit there, so thankfully I did react fast enough though, and switched my defense up, and hopefully I don't take any hits for that, because I think that was a good defense. Yeah, nice. But yeah, this is still not looking great. He does give me a free Fireball on the Fisherman. Definitely gonna have to take it, because again, in this type of matchup, I don't really see myself getting a connection anytime soon. So yeah, I'm gonna Skeletons to protect my Archer. I do have to keep as much damage on the board as possible, and then I'm gonna go Knight Archers instantly for the RG. Probably gonna Lightning, so he doesn't actually Lightning, which is interesting. I'm gonna Expo opposite, I guess, because this Giant Skeleton should pretty much be taken care of. And he actually doesn't have anything for that. Wow. Does go for the Royal Ghost. Doesn't have E-Spirit back in cycle, I'm pretty sure. So gonna Knight to block, and we might have actually just won, because he doesn't have a reset. He's not lightninging for some reason. I don't even know if that's a word. Probably not, but... Okay, he goes RG in the back when I have an Xbow on tower. I don't know what is up with his thought process there, but just gonna protect my archers. Actually, that wasn't necessary. That was kind of bad, but it's alright. We pretty much won. I'm really proud of how I played this one, but I don't really understand what my opponent's doing at the same time. Gonna stack archers again. In any lightning matchup, you always want to be stacking your archers. Gonna log this back. He's back to another RG, so... Gonna go for an anti-lightning Tesla up high, so that he can't lightning my tower. And then I'm gonna Xbow because... Okay, never mind. I was going to Xbow, but I just realized the RG was still alive and still needs a response, so just gonna Knight log instead. That would have been like, I don't know, like 5... Not 5 hits, but like many hits. Didn't want to take them. So Ghost is gonna be a bit annoying. Gonna try and surround it, but yeah, usually they do get nice predictions off with these Ghosts. Like he went for the E-Spirit earlier. And that time he goes for a log. Just gonna defensive Xbow. I don't think he's used his spell the whole game. Again, I'm fairly certain it's a lightning, because if it was a fireball, he definitely would have fireballed off my archers at this point, and if it was an earthquake, he definitely would have earthquaked me off at this point, so not really sure why he's so reluctant to go with his lightning, but it's definitely been working out for me so far. Gonna log this back. Gonna Tesla off to the side because he might lightning in the middle. Okay, does lightning there. Gonna go for an Expo now. And E-Spirit for the Fisherman plus RG. And then, actually, that was kind of a mistake, because I should probably just be spell cycling. But it's alright, I'm just going to defend this Expo anyways, because he's still going to have to respond to it. Going to log the Giant Skeleton back, so the bomb hopefully doesn't hit my Expo, and wow, somehow that actually locked on. I guess the Ghost just didn't activate and pop up, so that was pretty much a flawless game against Royal Giant, with the exception of... that last Expo, I guess. Although never at the end of the day it did win me the match, so maybe never mind. Maybe it was a good Expo. But yeah, that is a really hard matchup, and I guess I just played it quite well. I'm pretty proud of that. My opponent, for some reason, was really hesitant to play his Lightning the whole time again. I don't know why, but I'll take it, I guess. Pretty nice win there. 14-0, feeling pretty good about this. Hopefully can get the flawless 15-0. Gonna go for the final match, and let's try and get a good one here. So, found it against a Chinese player, I think, or I'm not sure actually, but gonna give my opponent the good luck. Looks like it is gonna be Logbait, so this is why I have E-Spirit. Hopefully I do okay in this one. Gonna E-Spirit the bridge, and I have to be careful of any princess at the bridge. Dark Goblin, gonna fireball it off instantly. And okay, so this is not going to be classic Logbait then. It does have 6 spectators, so maybe going to be a decent player, or maybe just all his friends are watching him. Could also be Mighty Miner bait, because I have actually seen some Mighty Miner bait. Yeah, even after the nerf, because he does have skeletons. Ice Spirit probably has the Mighty Miner in here. Does go for another barrel, just going to log it off once more. And just use both his cycle cards, so just going to E-Spirit on the right. They should force out a log. Okay, Dark Goblin as well is also fine. I'm gonna go for a low Knight to hopefully soak up the Dark Goblin damage in time. Nice. And then I guess I'm just gonna Expo, find out what he has. I'm fairly certain he has a rocket, but just to make sure, because I want to know. He has a Mighty Miner as well. That was to be expected. I'm just gonna let this Expo die. I think he's probably not gonna... Okay, he does have Tesla. I don't know how to feel about that actually, because on the one hand, Tesla is cheaper, or rather Cannon is cheaper than Tesla. Tesla is more expensive, so it does cost more for him to defend. But at the same time, Cannon is really flimsy after the nerf. Just going to go with a Knight Expo though, because he's not back to his Mighty Miner yet. So he's going to be forced to rocket this out if he has it. Yep, and then he didn't really have the best cycle in general there. So we do get a pretty nice connection, 500 damage lead. But I guess Tesla's a bit more annoying than Cannon, because he can, like, prediction Tesla in the spot that I was talking about, where the other Logbait player messed it up, and there's not much I can do about it. But I guess hopefully we can win this one, because my opponent has Dark Goblin, not Princess, and that is going to be a big help. I'm just going to Fireball Tower, because I don't really have a better play, and Fireball Cycle is pretty good in a matchup like this. I kind of learned that from Titan. One of the best Expo players. I was talking to him about the matchup. Does go for a low barrel, just going to go for a log. Never mind, I thought it was a tricky barrel, but apparently it wasn't. Does actually protect his Dark Goblin. I'm just going to fireball it off, I guess. And he did actually outcycle me, so going to E-Spirit Skeletons for this barrel. Took only 1 hit, so actually not bad. And he's not actually back to his Mighty Miner yet, so going to Expo. Knight to predict the Tesla. Nice, we did get the prediction off. He might rocket now. Okay, I actually think he's not going to rocket because he went skeleton, so I'm going to fireball the Mighty Miner. And yeah, it looks like he's just trying to defend this without a rocket. I think he might be back to Tesla now because he played quite a lot of cards. Yeah, he is, so that's going to be a dead Xbow. But that Tesla is actually not placed correctly because I can Xbow in the middle and it won't get targeted, so definitely going to Xbow again. Does get a rocket off, does defend it pretty much perfectly, but we are still maintaining a pretty solid lead at this point, so I'm pretty happy. Just going to split archers, and I honestly might just fireball tower again. Yeah, I'm going to do it. He's rocketing on my Xbows, which means he won't actually have a rocket to punish me, and then if he does rocket to punish me, I'm going to try and Xbow and punish him back for it. So, going to skeletons to make sure the Dark Goblin gets taken out. Log. Looks like he is protecting his Dark Goblin, but I actually messed up my archers there. Just gonna fireball this barrel, I guess, because I didn't have login cycle, unfortunately. And I'm gonna knight for the Dark Goblin because he might predict my skeletons. And, I mean, we are still maintaining a good lead, but this is still not looking perfect because I'm kind of scared of triple elixir. But I'm still just going to fireball off the Dark Goblin, knight to make sure the Mighty Miner doesn't get high, or rather close to my tower, because I'm kind of worried about the bomb. I think it does at least like 300-400 damage. And going to split archers. He does get the correct placement off this time, unfortunately. So going to have to Tesla back for his Tesla. And Dark Goblin is actually locking onto my tower. That's a big mistake on my end, unfortunately. Going to have to try and come back from this situation. I'm gonna knight to block the Tesla, log the Dark Goblin off instantly, and he does go for a barrel, but our Xbow does lock on, perfect, and I am able to fully defend that barrel without going for the log or fireball. So just like that, I think we won. Just in case he tries to rocket cycle me, I'm gonna knight Xbow instantly, and fireball off the Mighty Miner again. He does actually rocket, so I'm gonna Tesla the bridge. I always want to make sure I have at least 2 elixir though for the barrel, just in case. Dark Goblin comes down, that's alright, and I'm just going to log on offense at this point, and then knight to make sure the Dark Goblin doesn't take my entire tower, and just like that, we were able to win, thankfully. So, that game was kind of all over the place. I was a bit scared when I let the Dark Goblin lock on. I kind of just messed up and panicked, in all honesty. But thankfully, I was still able to win that one. And that is going to be a flawless 15-0, really, really nice continuation of the global tournament. Really happy about it. We did have some pretty tough matchups, especially the Royal Giant Skeleton deck. That was definitely not easy, so I'm really happy we were able to win that one. And yeah, definitely an improvement from my 15-4 on my other account. But yeah, 15-0, flawless start with 3.0 Xbow cycle. So this matchup was really interesting. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, again, Dark Goblin is better for me than Princess because there's no Princess at the bridge to worry about. But at the same time, with the Mighty Miner 3-card cycle, it can get quite frustrating sometimes, especially when they start rocketing you out. So you definitely need to have a lead going into double and triple if you want to have a decent chance at winning that. This game, I feel like my opponent just didn't really lightning enough, or I don't know, but we did get a really nice connection at the start by just pretty much punishing him, and I got a connection at the end somehow. The ghost was invisible, wasn't expecting that. This game was really nice. My opponent just really messed up, gave me a ton of spell value in the lane that I was going for, definitely a mistake on his end. This game was pretty much, I think it felt a little close sometimes to me, but I was able to win. And then this one, my opponent just really messed up at the start, gave me a connection for some reason. But it's funny because this was the deck that I showcased in my video yesterday. But yeah, those are overall going to be some pretty nice games. Electrospirit putting in quite a bit of work against this deck, against Logbait, against Mighty Miner Bait, I guess. Against these two, I think I would have rather had Ice Spirit, but it still wasn't that noticeable. So yeah, E-Spirit doing pretty well so far. But that's going to be the video, guys, so hope you enjoyed. Next up, I'll probably be doing another video going to 20 wins, seeing how it goes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.